Welcome back to Southern RV TV. I'm your host, Barry, and I've got my co-host, Jonathan, with me.
That's right, Barry. Today we're going to be looking at the Rockwood Mini Lite 2509S. Great little bunkhouse floor plan. I think it's packed full of features, especially for its weight and size.
Yeah,
so check it out.
This thing is awesome. It's got a lot of cool things going on with it. We're going to get into it, so buckle up and enjoy the ride. We're gonna get started today on the outside of the camper. One of the things I really like about this little guy is the fact that they've given us an immaculate outside kitchen.
They really have, Barry. So you've got all this space, not just your typical outdoor kitchen here, but you've got your mini fridge and your 2-burner stove. But they've tucked around here. We've got the spray port with your coiled hose with hot and cold water. And then one of the things that I love, it's kind of like the new trend, is these gas griddles. So there's several different brands that are out there, but Rockwood is including this griddle as an extra add-on for this model. And of course, you've got the shelf that goes beside it as well.
That's right. It all hooks up to that unique system that we see with all of the Rockwoods, that rail that they put on the side. They've given us some cool little custom features like this Forest River spatula with a bottle opener built into the top of it. And then another thing that's really neat here is up under our outside speakers and in the middle of the awning, they've provided us with a TV mount. So they give us, the mount's already installed on the side of the camper, and they've given us the backer plate. So all you gotta do is bring your own TV, hook it up, and you can slide that guy right down and onto the wall. There is some connection points down here for both cable and electricity. It's really easy to access, really easy to use. I think that's super slick for having outside entertainment.
Absolutely, Barry. What I'm thinking here, tailgating.
That's right, that's right. Everything's up on under the awning. You're having a good time. You've got everything that you need right at the tip of your hands. And you know, they don't have an outside sink on this outside kitchen, but like you said, they've given us a spray port, so washing things up is gonna be pretty easy. And one other thing I'd like to point out that they've changed is that instead of having the standard little slotted hooks, now we have these 2 little blue tabs on the end, and that's gonna lock out this outside kitchen. So it allows us to slide it in and out, and it goes to a locked position with ease. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it really just, it's just one little thing that just kind of finishes it. It keeps you from fumbling around with it, and those latches are sometimes cumbersome. So I really like these new latches.
That's right. Rockwood doesn't seem to be afraid to spend a little bit of extra money here and there to give you that full-on user experience that just makes camping more enjoyable.
That's right.
Yep. Let's walk around to the back side and check out some of the features over there. So here on the back side of the camper, we have a couple of nifty things going on. One, they've given us a 2-inch receiver hitch down there.
Barry, I love the fact that they've given us that. That allows to be able to do anything from a cargo rack to a bicycle carrier. There's just tons of uses for those little 2-inch receiver hitches on the backs of travel trailers.
That's right, and this one is not designed for tandem towing. This is just merely an accessory hitch.
That's right.
We've got to make that clear. Another thing that they've done is they've bumper mounted our spare tire, given us a cover for it. That's a nice little addition, having the cover.
And Barry, don't forget Goodyear tires all the way around. Goodyear endurance tires on these Rockwoods. Again, they're spending a little more to give you that peace of mind.
That's right. Now, up top, we have a pre-wired system for a Furrion backup cam. So that's really simple and easy to install. If we pop that cover off, there's a couple of little wires right there. Makes it super easy to hook up. It's all just plug and play, basically.
Absolutely.
Yep. Now, there's also a couple of really neat things going on up on the roof. So let's jump up there and take a look. So, hopping up onto the roof, one of the first things I noticed that I think is really slick that these are coming with is this Max Air vent cover.
That's right, Barry. It's got the fan inside there and the vent cover. The quick pins allow it to pop off easily so you can get in there and clean if necessary. These are great. Again, we've talked about this before, being kind of like an attic fan. And with that cover, you can leave it open even if it's raining, and you don't have to worry about any water coming in.
That's right. And this is a rain sensor too. So even if water did get in, which is
going to close,
darn near impossible, yeah, it's going to close for you.
Yep.
That's an awesome feature on this little Rockwood Mini Lite. Another cool thing that's going on is this antenna that we've got over here.
Yeah, Barry, so this is an omnidirectional antenna. Unlike the days of old when we had to crank these up and then remember to crank them down, which was always the downfall, these just sit just like they are. There's nothing to do. They're ready to go, and feedback we've been getting is that they work fantastic, just as good as the old ones.
It's my understanding too that this has a Wi-Fi range extender built into it.
I believe it does, yes. So with Rockwood, that's one of the features that they're building into some of these units. And basically it's going to pick up Wi-Fi that you can't otherwise get from the campground and boost it for you.
That's awesome. Now, the last thing I want to talk about up here on this roof is this big ol' 190 watt solar panel. This thing's super cool because it's tied to our 12 volt system, and it's also got a 1,000 watt inverter tied to it.
Absolutely. So all you need to go off grid, great for little weekend getaways when you may not have a constant source of power. This is going to make sure you still have 12 volt on board.
Moreover, it's just going to keep your batteries topped off all the time.
Absolutely. Never are you going to go out to your RV and need to grab something and not be able to get the slide out. It's going to stay topped off.
Right on. Let's climb down and look at the back side of the camper. So here on the back side of the camper, we have a few things going on that are kind of neat. One, they've provided us with an outside shower. This is a common feature we see on travel trailers and fifth wheels alike. But that said, this one is very smartly positioned. It's right above the dump station there.
Absolutely, Barry. Yep. Yeah, I think we've all been there where we've quickly needed access to some water and even some soap while at the dump station, so that's a great spot for it.
That's it. And this is a nice location for it. It's right here at the rear of the vehicle. A lot of times if you do have those hookups in the campsite, they are kind of located towards the back of the campsite. That said, we've got a few other things going on here. Our cable and satellite in are right here next to the slide. We've got our city water connection, and this has black tank flush as well. So that's going to help rinse out that black tank after dumping it. You're just hooking up a fresh water supply to it and forcing water down in there while leaving that valve open.
Absolutely, giving it a good rinse.
That's right. Now, up top, slide toppers.
Yes,
Yep.
Slide toppers is something that we believe in, and anytime they're optioned from the factory, especially from Rockwood being a premium travel trailer, we just go ahead and get them. So slide topper's already done on this. It's going to give you one more layer of protection against the elements. And when I say elements, I'm not just talking about rain. I'm actually referring to the heat of the day.
That's right.
A slide awning here in the south will actually provide shade on the top of the slide, because keep in mind the roof of the slide is not as deep and tall as the roof of the main camper body. So that's going to provide a little bit cooler experience while sitting in the coach.
That's right. There's a little bit of an insulation barrier. It has some other advantages as well. Again, that's optional thing that we've put on here, not a standard from them.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. Now, they have given us storage. They've carved it out in as many places as they can. I love the fact that they've got these magnetic catches here instead of the weird little plastic clips. This is going to be the back side of the dinette in there. And one thing that you notice about these Rockwoods is all of the aluminum framing that's in there. It's not just a chintzy wood setup in there. They've really taken the extra time and effort to build something that's gonna last.
That's right. Yeah, it's from bed frames to underneath dinettes, using aluminum in areas that some other manufacturers might use wood. Again, they're gonna spend a little more. You're going to get a better experience in the end.
That's right. And I don't think we pointed it out on the front side, but we do have frameless windows on this rig, which is just a classy look overall. And going more into that outside storage, they've just carved it in anywhere they could find a place to carve it in, and given us these hatch doors just to store more stuff.
Yeah, no dead space. That's kind of what I like to say when we talk about these extra storage compartments. No dead space. If you can put in a storage door, again, other manufacturers might just not do anything there, but they spent a couple of bucks on a storage door and just giving you that much extra.
That's right. And right up here towards the front, we can open this up, and we've got a little bit of pass-through storage. You can see almost clear through to the other side. We've got a few things in there right now that prohibit that seeing all the way through it,
right,
but it definitely passes through. And then right next to that, we have our fresh tank fill.
Yes, Barry. So you've got your fresh tank fill. It's conveniently located here on what would be the driver's side of the vehicle. So if you go to your last rest stop before going to the campsite, you can fill water right here. We also have your docking light switch right here for the LED lights on the front.
Yep, and that's awesome because again, driver's side, you want to hitch and unhitch of the nighttime, you're popping out, that light switch is right there for you.
Yeah, convenience.
Pushing on around to the front of the vehicle, we've got a few cool things going on. One of the things that I'm a big fan of is molded fiberglass front caps.
Right, Barry. So they've given us the 3/4 molded cap with the diamond plate lower. So this is really rigid and tough. There's a lot of brands out there that are gonna do a diamond plate look here that's really flimsy. And I gotta be honest, this is thick, this is dense. I haven't actually put my hands on it and it's really durable.
Yeah, it is a nice feature there. Anything that kicks up, it's gonna keep it from denting, dinging, all that good stuff. We also have an automotive grade windshield up front. That looks in over that main bed. We'll get to that when we get inside. A few other cool things that are going on here. Under this, we have larger than average propane tanks for this travel trailer. In the back, we have a double wide battery box.
Right, Barry. So we can actually install 2 batteries on this model. They've given us the box straight from the factory. It's all the wiring and everything is there. So again, you can take full advantage of the solar panel on the roof and the inverter that's already installed on board.
That's right. Now here at Southern RV, we're gonna give you that first battery, but we have options to upgrade to some nicer,
Absolutely.
bigger second and more batteries. If you wanna go lithium, for instance, we can help you out.
Yep, there's all kinds of options available from 6 volts to lithiums. The options are endless at this
That's
point.
right. Now, the other cool thing we've got going on is a power tongue jack. I might say this is a beefy one. It moves pretty quick.
I'd say that it's jacked.
Oh, bad dad jokes. And then the thing that I like to call the hooky-doo, this is actually a really neat feature. It's just a simple place that we can pop in our round plug as well as our chains. It just gets them up off the ground. You aren't wrapping them around the frame. It just makes for ease of use is really what it boils down to.
Yeah, I love the hickey-doo as you've dubbed it. It's one of my pet peeves is to pick up chains and 7-pin lanyards that are in the dirt. So I love that they've put that on board.
Yeah, let's push on around to the front.
So Barry, one of the things I want to point out we haven't discussed yet is this does have power jacks all the way around. So you mentioned the power tongue jack. This has the power jacks front and rear as well. The switches are now, we've moved everything to the patio side of the camper to make it convenient for setup. So they're all 4 on a couple of switches here, so it's easy to adjust. You've got the front one at the front jacks and the rear one behind the axle.
That's right. And we showed you that solar panel that was up on the roof, but what we didn't talk about is what happens if you park in the shade, you still want some solar. Well, this is wired up for solar on the side. What that means is that you can buy yourself an extra solar panel, plug it right into this from the Go Power system, drag it out of the shade if your campsite's in the shade, and have it powered up in the sun. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
That's right. There's that pass-through storage that we saw from the other side. And then right at the entrance, before we pop in, we have solid step entry. Not only is it solid step entry, but it's strut assisted. That means that this thing is on a spring, basically, that allows it to go up and down with ease. Notice how I have to pretty much push that thing down to get it down. It has adjustable legs. One thing I like about these adjustable legs is that they're pinless, so you simply push a button, slide it in and out to adjust for uneven terrain, and we get that nice solid entry going up into the camper.
One last thing I want to point out, Barry, is that the patio awning on this is basically from tip to tip. It goes from the back corner back there, clear all the way up, and we've got not just to the entry door, but couple feet past it so that if the wind is driving some rain in or anything, it's not getting near the entry door, you can come in and out.
That's right. I don't think they could have put a bigger awning on this thing. And it's lit up by a great LED strip up top. Hey, I tell you what, let's pop up inside and see what's going on in there. Man, so here inside, this is an incredibly smart use of space in my opinion. I think they've got a lot going on, so let's just jump into it. And I mean, right here at the front, as soon as we pop up in, we've got all sorts of our controls right there. Easy to get to, right below the countertop. Everything's on its own individual switch. You've got your Go Power controller down there. And we talked earlier about how they carve out as much space as they can to put in more storage. Well, there's no exception to that rule here.
Yeah, you've even got a couple of drawers down here, Barry.
That's
so
right.
Again, no dead space.
That's right, no dead space. I like that a lot. Behind me, we have a couple of things going on. So the couch, that's pretty cool.
Yep, absolutely. So the couch is quite comfortable, a nice little love seat. And this one even has little footrests that kick up. Yep. Yeah. So, and then of course it's a couch during the day, but then at nighttime we can convert. So
that's right. But there's some storage under there too.
That's right. That's actually kind of a sidekick to the outdoor storage compartment. So you can access from the interior. That's smart, Barry.
So that jackknife's down, and then we've got our Murphy bed.
So your Murphy bed is actually all strapped down, so you don't have to worry about your covers and your comforter and that sort of thing sliding down into your storage compartment during the daytime when you've got it in storage position. But again, when this opens up, you mentioned the windshield earlier, really just adds more light and a little more space in here. Just a really smart use of things because obviously you're taking up a little more floor space, so let's try and open that space up at the same time.
That's right. Now, they've done some things that are very traditional here. On either side, we've got hanging closets and drawers. So that's pretty common for a travel trailer. Nightstands on either side. We've got a little bit of power down on that side as well.
I have 110 on this side, and I have USB charging, and then I see you've got a 110 outlet over there.
I've got a 110 over here as well, and that's nice because it's right next to that big back shelf. Yeah. It's a great spot to set your phone down and charge it at night, or an alarm clock, something of that nature. It's pretty smart. And then of course there's a little fan/vent right here. That's pretty nice as well. All of our AC is ducted, so that's pointing right down at the bed. That makes it nice and easy. And another thing that I think is really cool that they've thought about as far as entertainment goes is they've put the TV up over the kitchen, but that TV is on a mount. There you go.
Yeah, it's on a swivel mount, so you can just pivot it around and watch TV at night. Just, multi-purpose, just for one TV. There's no need to have anything else mounted in here.
That's right. And this is a bunkhouse travel trailer, so there are bunks on the other side of it. So if mom and pa want a little break from the kids or just want to hide from them at night, there it is. We've got that nice little divider curtain there. I like that. It's a very efficient use of space, and it saves on weight when we don't have a wall.
Absolutely.
Now, behind me, we have our slide out. The slide hosts this big old U-shaped dinette, but moreover, they've put in what could be used as a pantry or another closet right here.
Yeah, Barry, it's great use of space again, and that's actually the backside to that little storage compartment. So, it's a great use of space both indoor and out.
That's right. Speaking of this U-shaped dinette, there's some really cool things going on with it that I like. One is that I think you've pointed this out to me before,
That's right,
and I didn't really think about it much until I really sat down at it, because I've got big feet. I'm 6'3", and they really just take up space under these tables. Well, they've cut this in and allowed for a spot to kind of pull back. So when the whole family's sitting here, you're not all up on each other.
That's right.
Not to mention, we've got storage in the form of drawers up under here too.
Yep, they've built these just like traditional drawers, so you're not dealing with trying to crawl in to get anything. Being a drawer, everything's coming out to you.
That's right. And this table is another cool thing Rockwood's got going on. This table will drop down, right? And so that's going to allow it to hook under on these nice big rubber pads that we have down here and allow us to pull these cushions out over it to create another bed in here.
Right, Barry. So you've got another bed, and honestly, you could even use that as a little coffee table. So
That's
drop
right.
it down, spin it sideways, so you've got a little bit of ankle room around it. Set your drink down, use it as a footrest.
I like the fact that it folds down and we can take it outside. This can act as counter space to that immaculate outside kitchen that we took a look at earlier.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and they've put in storage up above it as well. So on either side, we have these nice cabinets that open up. It's just adding more storage space to this trailer, which again, they're just carving it out everywhere they can. And they've even given us roller shades. That is like a luxury item on a travel trailer.
Right, Barry. So that's kind of like a higher end feature. Again, we're not dealing with your standard lightweight travel trailer where they've they've trimmed the weight, and they've trimmed the features. They're giving you all the features in a lightweight travel trailer to make sure that, I mean, honestly, this becomes luxury.
That's it. Now the kitchen, at first, when you're looking at it, it doesn't look like much. It seems small, and for the length of the travel trailer that this is, I think they've really maxed it out.
They have, Barry. So everything from your pop-up 110 and USB ports here to the sink covers for the sink and even the glass stovetop, they've really just maximized the space. You've got some good counter space here on the corner that's dedicated, so you've got a spot for the coffee maker. Honestly, it's lifeblood for me during the mornings. But yeah, they've really just made great use of the space they've given us.
Yeah, and if this wasn't enough counter space for you, these solid surface extensions really open it up just to give you a little bit of extra prep space at the end of the day. Now they had to do this because when that slide comes in, this would be kind of right in the way of it.
It'd be in the way, and it also is great, and that way you've just got a better flow around, so you don't have all this countertop in the way when you don't need it. So yeah, it's great to have it when you want it there.
Yep, you don't always need it. And we've got a set of drawers under the sink. So again, more storage, microwave up top, that 3-burner stove with the glass cover. Again, all about extending counter space. And then an 11 cubic foot, 12-volt fridge. I like this thing because it has a little more space inside than the old gas electric fridges did, because it doesn't have those cooling fans or fins in the back of it.
That's right, Barry. And I actually got a report directly back from an end user of an RV that said that their refrigerator 12-volt cooled down in 2 hours. We normally say like 12 to 24 hours for a typical RV fridge, but the fact that it cooled off in 2 hours was amazing to me.
That is awesome. Now pushing out of the kitchen to the back, we have our bunkhouse section of this RV. This is a corner bunk, corner bath. So the bathroom's in this door behind me. We'll get to that in a sec. But this bunkhouse does feature some cool little tricks in the form of extra storage. Again, it's all about that extra storage, carving it in wherever we can. This mattress can flip up and over to one side. This guy can lift and latch and lock out into place. And they've even given us these cool little cargo keepers that are on bungees, and they'll clip up and off to one side to keep things from just flying out when we're going down the road and traveling.
Barry, you know what I see this being used for? Again, looking at this from my family's perspective, we can tuck a bicycle, maybe even 2 in there.
That's right.
My 4-year-old's bike is pretty small. It would go straight in there, and even with my 12-year-old at the same time, we could probably slide those in there and keep them tucked out of the way for transit. That way I don't have to put them in the bed of the truck.
I could also see if you had like a small dog or something, throwing the dog bed up under there. That way they're kind of out of the way. Now, that's not the only thing going on here. Most bunkhouses of this size don't include any easy way to get up into this top bunk. Rockwood's given us a ladder.
Yeah, it's something that's so simple, and it's actually requested by customers a lot. We get that question all the time: is do the bunk beds have a ladder? And most of the time they don't, but Rockwood's given us that ladder, and it's just one more way they're going the extra mile.
And it's a nice solid metal ladder too. It's not wood. It doesn't feel like it's going to crack or break. It's relatively lightweight, so it's easy to kind of toss around as well. Now this bathroom, actually before we get to the bathroom, you've got
some great pantry here.
Yeah, more pantry space, more storage. Again, Rockwood carving it out wherever they can. I like that a lot. Right by our bathroom, we have our thermostat. And then heading into it, check that out. That is really slick. We've got a foot flush toilet, a nice large shower. One of the things I like about the shower here is that they have the AquaView shower miser system installed. Now, if you guys haven't seen this, we've got a great video that explains it. It's a water saving system, especially if you're boondocking. We're going to link it if you're on YouTube. It should be up here. Look for the little info box in the upper left-hand corner. You can click that explainer to learn all about it. If you're watching this on social media, be sure to check out our YouTube channel because it's got a lot of great info there too. Otherwise, this bathroom, again, loaded with storage. We've got a medicine cabinet, some cabinetry down low, and then Rockwood does something really cool with this little plastic holder. It's got toothbrush slots as well as a spot for little mouth rinsing cups too.
Barry, one quick thing I want to point out is you have a window in there. Not all your
yeah.
bathrooms come with a window, and
That's
Rockwood's
right.
put one in.
That's right. So, you know, you want a little privacy, close it down. You want to see out? There it is. Now, speaking of windows, that is one thing that I think is really neat about this, is they did put a lot of them in, especially right here off the kitchen. Between the window that's above the kitchen sink, the window that's in the door, and the window by the bedroom, we have a great view of our campsite patio. Now this is a bunkhouse travel trailer, so you're going to have your kids with you, or grandkids, whatever it may be. You're going to be able to spy on them right through those windows and down into the play space that they have in the RV campsite.
That's right. That's always a thing for my wife and I, is to keep an eye on the kids, whether we're at home or camping. And just the fact that we have these windows over here allows us to watch them while they're playing in the campsite and know exactly what they're doing, so that they're not getting into any mischief.
There you go. So guys, that about wraps up the interior of the Rockwood. Let's pop on outside and give our final thoughts.
All right, Barry, time for final thoughts. The Rockwood Mini Lite 2509S. For me, great family camper. I've got 2 kids. My wife and I can sleep comfortably up front. It's convertible space, so we've got the sofa during the day. The kids get their bunks with plenty of space back there for their belongings. One of the key features for me is the outdoor kitchen. I absolutely love how much they've packed into this model. Just feature packed, works great for a family, and still very lightweight and small, easily towed by a half-ton.
There you go. Yeah, I think it is cool for a family, but that said, I think this is awesome tailgating rig too. So even if you're just somebody who travels with your friends, or you're a solo traveler, or you just want to be entertaining folks from time to time, this thing is big without being too big. It's not like a giant camper, but it's also not the smallest. So it fits that sweet spot where you can still put it in a parking lot and really not feel like you're overbearing or taking up too much space. I think it's cool for a multitude of uses, and I'm really glad you guys got to join us on this tour of this cool little Rockwood Mini Lite. I think if you want to see it for yourself in person, hopefully we'll have it for a little bit longer here at Southern RV in McDonough, Georgia. Come on down and see us. We're right off I-75. And you can also check it out online. Our website is southernrv.com. So that about wraps it up. Again, thanks for watching, guys. And until next time, happy camping.